Okay, guys. So we're gonna jump into a little bit of a charting session. I know there's a lot of like confusion about when to enter, what to look for exits, stop losses, like good profiles on a chart, time frames, basically just your basic utilization of a chart. We're gonna get into that today. In front of you, I took a little screenshot of this little Webull account I started. So I'm proving to you guys that you can start with literally $100 and actually be successful with it, right? Now, we're not trying to buy Lamborghinis here, but if you start with a small account, it can compound into one day a bigger account, right? So, to prove that it's not luck, to prove that the strategy works, and to prove that you can start small and build your way up, this is my month so far, okay? As you can tell, we do have 4 red days here, and one of them is a little bit bigger than it should have been. But nobody is immune to, making errors as a trader. You're never going to just get over losses, right? Like, losses happen, and it's part of the game. The key is just keep them small. So that was definitely a big one for me. But you can tell, like, I had three in a row, all decently large, too, in comparison to the profit sizes. But as you can tell, I'm way more consistent with the green. And if you can do this in a small account, as I'm emulating for you, there's no reason that you guys can't one day trade, and have these as $300 days and $200 days instead. You know what I mean? So just want to share that with you guys. So let's move on to a little charting today. We have ONMD. This has been popping off on some medical news. Let's do a little chart here. So I told people in the Discord like an entry point for me would have been a break of 0.80. So you can tell it actually did break that, and then it jackknifed down, which isn't great. It's probably toast for the rest of the day, would be my guess. So we can do a little bit of surfing around here quick, just see what's moving. I'll probably send out a few alerts here and there. SRFM. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah, this is absolutely rocketing. I'm going to have to send that to the Discord. Let's see. So, let's see. How would I break this chart down, right? So you guys want to know how I go about charting, because a lot of people seem to struggle with the whole charting concept. So, first of all, like one thing that stands out to me is that right there. Okay, that's called ascending resistance. So you can see we hit, we wicked, we pulled back, kind of bounced up, we hit it again. Now, where do you think this thing's going to bounce again, right? Probably right off that line. Now, whether or not it draws down, let me get my pencil here. So whether or not it basically draws down, hits the 9 EMA, starts to curl back up, maybe we see a little dip again with the price action we have, and then we hit here. Maybe we wick through it for a second but get sucked back down. That's what I would expect to see, right? So like I'm personally not looking for a huge move right here. Now it doesn't mean it can't happen, because like look at this, right? We have ascending volume, all bullish. There's not a single red volume candle that is bigger than the majority of these green candles. That's fantastic. That is what you want to see. So basically, like that's the first thing that stands out to me. I look for very key levels of ascending and descending support and resistance, because honestly, it seems to be more valid often than not compared to like horizontally we'd have like $half and whole dollar resistance levels. This isn't going to be perfect because it's on Webull, but like right there, obviously you can see we rejected off of it. It's a $half level, very common. If we go to, let's see, like where was 350 or $4? So the whole dollar of 4 would be right there. And you can tell we struggled, right? Like there was a little bit of a war right there. And it broke through, got sucked back down, kind of teeter-tottered, but eventually it broke through. So we could assume that there's going to be a little bit of an issue getting above this level, right? Now we're going to do this in live time, which is great. But you would assume that it's going to struggle to get above that, and if it does, it's going to struggle to get above that, right? So that goes to show like this isn't just like a chip shop, right? You're not just going to buy, and this thing's going to go all the way to $6. There's too much resistance, okay? Doesn't mean it can't. It just means that it's very low probability, and you as a trader have to focus on probability, right? It's everything. I do have to pause this video for a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, had to deal with the Discord. That thing is growing. I mean, we grew 200 some members in the last 24 hours. Like, I can barely keep up with it at this point, but we're making it work. So, we just went over a little bit of charting on that. Let's do, so my boy in Premium wants me to go over like buying and selling on Webull. So let's go to the order windows here. So we can pull up, what the hell are we just looking at? Terrible memory. SRFM. Okay, let's look at that. Alright, so you can see, like, look how rapidly this level 2 is moving because of how much volume it has, right? Look at this. This has no volume. This shit is not moving at all. This is what you want to see from a level 2 window, okay? This means that there's people trading it, right? And like I've said a million times, we've gone over this. You want to see green on the tape, okay? This is the tape. You want to see a lot of green. You're going to see some white and some red, but you want to see mostly green. That means it's going up. It's being bought up. These limit ups, limit downs, those are your halt levels. Just good information to throw in there. So I believe what he was confused about was buying and selling on Webull. So what I would recommend is subscribing to the NBBO level 2 data, which is these windows here. It's your order book. And when you click into it, you can use hotkeys on that stock, right? So like Control 1 buys 1,000 shares on the bid. So that's very easy to set up. You'll figure that out. Like, it just takes a little common sense. Set that up. Don't play around with the Turbo Trader and like the manually like enter, because then you're gonna have to go through and you're gonna have to pick like 6 different things. It's gonna take you a million years, and by the time you even get your order ready and into the window, like, you're legitimately gonna be missing the whole move. So like the problem that people are running into is they're like, I tried to buy on the ask and it didn't get filled. Okay, you either don't have extended hours on, you only have market open hours on, or you're trying to buy in like pre-market or after hours, or B, that shit is moving so fast that your order just got fucking blown away. Like, it literally didn't matter. If I tried to buy this stock at the ask right now at 408 and I put it out and it jumps all the way to 412 on the ask, it's never getting filled. No one's selling less than what the highest seller is selling at. You know what I mean? So you want to have like an offset. So if you set up your hotkeys, it's gonna have a few options, right? It's gonna have like order type, so like limit or market or stop loss or whatever. So you want to do limit, ask. So limit, ask, a buy order for whatever. You can do it in percentages, shares, or dollars. And do a limit offset of plus 0.05. So that's a 5-cent offset. That way when you order or send your order out, your limit price is now 5 cents ahead of the current. And if it moves rapidly, which you're probably going to be buying it when it's moving rapidly, right? You're not buying something that's like this, that's not moving. That way with the 5-cent offset, you will get filled regardless, because first of all, you're willing to buy it at a 5-cent higher price than it's currently at. And even if it starts rapidly moving, like, then it's just naturally going to flow, right? So you might get a little slippage. Slippage is a trading term of like the amount of money that you either lost, or sometimes it can work in your benefit, usually doesn't, but it's like the amount of money that you lost due to a sell order slipping on the order books. Slippage, right? So sometimes like market orders are fucking terrible for this, because what happens is if I put out, let's look at this because it's slower moving. If I put out a buy order for, let's say, 5,500 shares, right? So you have 2,500 here at 316, and you have 2,500 here at 316. So 5,000 of those shares will be filled at 316, and then the other 500 are going to get filled at 317. Whereas if I used a limit order for that same 5,500 shares, essentially it would wait until that limit order is met. It's not going to fill at any other price. Okay, so that's the issue you're running into. Market order, you're going to get slippage, but you'll get filled regardless, as long as it's market hours. Okay? So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, dude, just DM me in the Discord. Like, I answer pretty quickly. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that, I'm helping you guys out fast enough so that you can make the adjustments in real time. Let's see. What else we got? Let's check this quick. I'm going to pause this quick and see what else is moving. Okay, let's get back into a little more charting. So I just alerted this in the Discord, ONMD. Now, obviously, is it hard to understand why I just alerted this? No. Like, look, we're getting another test of that key level. If we get on the other side of it, obviously wait, be hesitant to enter. Don't just jump in the second it wicks above it, right? Because of what happened last time. But essentially, like, it could pop up here. I'm sick of that purple. It could pop up here and then reverse, right? Do exactly this again. So another thing that I would consider doing on a stock below $1. Now this thing is probably going to break this and go right up to data highs. I'm willing to bet you this right now that it will. Like, we can watch it together. But what's going to happen is we're going to get to a point somewhere around where we rejected last time, and it's actually doing it a little sooner than I thought. But somewhere around there, I figured we'd have a little trouble there because we had trouble there before, right? It's just basic pattern recognition. So as long as the volume keeps coming, we're going to see this thing make probably a pretty big move. I did alert it, so I hope people are watching it, like I said. I should actually send them entry at 0.81. Entry at 0.81. Break of 0.81. Okay. Okay, so I kind of want to watch this together. I want to keep doing the charting. Another thing we should look for is, let's make this bigger. Basically, descending, right? So, like I said, my eye is trained to see this. So we rejected off of this point here and off of this point here. Now, why is this in my way? Let's try this. How'd that do? Perfect. Right on the money. And look, okay, like this is as legit as it gets. Like, look at that, right? If you didn't draw that resistance line, maybe you would have bought right there, not knowing that you're buying into a wall of respected resistance, right? Now, maybe we squeeze through. I don't really like what's happening right now, personally, to be honest. So, yeah, that's not something I would... Like, I'm officially not even watching this at this point, right? Just from a 2-second technical analysis. Like, we have very strong descending resistance. Look at it, okay? You guys just got to play around with the charts. Get used to this shit. Look at that. That's terrible. That's so bad. If you just bought that, if you bought that for the break right there at 0.80, you're already down 2 cents a share. And because it's so cheap, you probably have thousands of shares. Not good. Not good. And look at this thing's probably toast. I would be really surprised if it did anything other than what it's doing right now. I'm going to pause this again and take another quick look. So I guess what we're going to do at this point, because everything's kind of dead, is we're going to go back to OMND, which was like a huge mover of the day. Now, I typically don't like stocks under $1, but with the small account little challenge that I was doing on Webull, kind of had to trade it, right? Because it's like the #1 leading gainer, and my account value's at like $100, so I had to take something on it. Yeah, once this wants to participate, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Let's try that. Okay. Look at that. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. I hope nobody's in that. Jesus. So, let's see. 7 a.m. Here we go. This would be the pre-market. Look how clean the price action is in the pre-market. I love it. Pre-market is the best. That's when volume is the easiest to read, and you can do, in my opinion, the best. Look at this. This is beautiful. I actually did take this trade today. So, let's break this down. So you get a big move up, micro pullback, So there's a buying opportunity right there if you were really early. That's super, super early. But big move up, buying opportunity, big move up. Pullback, VWAP test. I did see this topping tail in real time. It actually worried me a little bit. Like seeing that, it's not what you want to see. I had a feeling after that this would break below the VWAP and be one of these full round trips. But it proved me wrong. I kept watching it. When we did do this off the VWAP, I got a little hopeful. Not going to lie, that was pretty much like when I knew something was up for the better. Because also look at the volume, right? Now it's descending, which isn't great, which explains why this got so like stalled out and choppy. But all of the green candles are bigger than the red, right? Like it goes back to what I'm preaching nonstop. If the bullish volume is bigger than the bearish volume, it's a bullish trade. So as you can see, we're testing the VWAP. Now the second that we don't break below here and we actually open higher right here, that's when I punch my order. Like I had a perfect trade on this because of that, right? So as it bounces off the VWAP, pushes up, boom, I'm in. Now add, ride, cut. I'm not looking for this thing to go much higher. That's already a big move. It's done plenty. I don't need to hold it for the next several hours and find out, right? So perfect trade. It's called a VWAP breakout. Now, the fact that like once you get good with price action, right? Like this is called a hammer. Essentially, it's kind of a thicker one, but that's called a hammer. It has this lower wick here that's bigger than the top. So it got pushed down and the buyers bought it back up. That's all that means. So a wick is just like where it was at the high and where it was at the low in that time increment, which is 1 minute right now. So you see that. That's bullish. That's great. That means it tried to sell off below the VWAP and it got bought back up. Boom. Instantly. Something you want to see. This is a doji, candle of indecision, but where the body close? Right above the VWAP. So when this opens here, drops, gets bought, as you can see this volume would start chugging along. Why wouldn't you enter? That is a perfect trade, right? So that is the one I caught, pre-market. Let's zoom out quick. Look at this. Look at how much cleaner the pre-market is than the actual market. Look at all these topping tails. Look at all this terrible price action, breaking below the 9 EMA. Like if you are in my Discord, please tune in for the pre-market trading. That is the best time to trade. Like you are really making it harder on yourself by not trading that. Because first of all, it's the best time to learn the strategy. It's the best time to learn any strategy because there's not a bunch of high frequency trading algorithms in the market. And it's just the safest price action. Like you can trust what you're seeing. You can't always trust what you're seeing in market open, right? Just look at it. It looks, now it's big because the volume's bigger, but like you're taking huge, incredible risks for no reason. So look at that. That's so bad, man. That's so bad. I'm gonna check the scanner one more time.